and welcome to the latest episode of Industry Insights. Today I'm talking to Edward Sliwinski, Senior R&I Manager at the European Federation of Food Science and Technology. Hello and welcome to today's episode of Industry Insights. I'm more than happy to talk to Edward Sliwinski today, who will share about his expertise and several projects he's involved in currently. So let's start by you, Edward, introducing yourself to the audience, please.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for inviting me for this interview. My name is Edward Sliwinski. I tend to say I'm a true Wageninger. I studied in Wageningen. I studied the diseases of plants, and I did my PhD in food physics on a topic related to bread making. When I had finished my PhD, I was teaching dairy technology for 4 years at Wageningen University. And then I moved to the industry, to Nutricia, that later became part of Danone. And there I was mainly working in the medical nutrition division. But in the beginning, I also concentrated on infant formula. And then later on, I moved to Arla Foods in Denmark. I've worked 2 years for the Yili Innovation Center Europe, that is based in Wageningen. And now I work already for 4.5 years for EFOST.
So you have a broad experience and knowledge throughout your career, being a teacher yourself, and then also taking that experience and that knowledge and bringing it into the industry. So we're really happy to have you today so you can share all your knowledge. Let's start with the project that I've seen you present about, Catalyse, because I think this is a very important and interesting project, and I would really like for you to share more about that so that people know what is happening in Europe.
Yeah, thank you. And if you don't mind, I would like to start to explain a little bit how Titan works. That's another project we are working on, and that's older. It is now, it started in September 2 years ago, so it's about 26 months active. And Titan is focused on building transparency in the food supply chain. And we should build transparency for safety, health, and sustainability. And this means that we have a strong component also focused on food safety, food fraud, authenticity in the Titan project. And the Titan project is an innovation action, which means that we have to develop solutions that can be implemented by the market. That is a stronger focus there. So we have 5 pilots that are in the box of food safety, and I have to think. 2 of them are with a DNA-based detection method, where we try to facilitate rapid detection on site with portable, let's say lab on a chip. That's the right word. And we have 1 pilot for allergen management, and we have 1 pilot for authenticity. We have 2 pilots with University Cattolica di Piacenza in Italy and Microbiome together. They look at the strains that you can find in fermented foods and in plant-based alternatives. And we have 1 pilot with Agrono in Greece, and they are setting up a digital system for a smaller company, Symbiosis, that trades in healthy products that contain honey and herbs. So with that project, we already got strongly involved in the topic. And of course, because of my career, I have quite some insights in food safety issues and management. But it also helped to get into contact with SMEs and to build connections and to think about how they could bring their solution to market. You asked specifically about the Catalyse project. The Catalyse project is a different type of project. They're all financed by Horizon Europe. But this is a CSA, which means that we do not develop new research, we do not develop new solutions, but we try to be an intermediate and bring parties together. So within the Catalyse project, the focus is really only food safety, but we try to identify what is called the needs of end users. So the hygiene managers in the food processing companies, the heads of the laboratories of food authorities or large laboratory organizations. And then we try to identify a list of innovative solutions that could help them. And then it can take a lot of time. It can be a big effort to screen what is the best one.
Yeah.
And that's why we also try to help. So we have a list of more than 60 SMEs already identified, and also some, let's say, more academic solutions that have been published, but there's no clear business driving them. We will analyze them, and then we will organize events where, let's say, the SMEs can pitch their solution, and where future end users maybe can start conversations or ask difficult questions or can make connections. And what we see as our ideal is that there will be coordinated efforts to organize trials, because what we have now is that now two companies get connected somehow in a way, and then they start up a trial, and the results are only for the company unless they think, well, this is so good now everybody can read about it. But that also then takes a lot of time before it really can scale up. And that's what we try to improve with the Catalyse project.
Yeah. And how many countries are involved in the Catalyze project? Do you know that?
I have to take a look.
No, just
No.
just vaguely. It doesn't have to be the exact number, because it when I hear you talking about it, I mean, it makes so much sense actually to have all of the world involved in a project like this, because
Yes.
food does not stay within one specific country. Usually it travels the world, or it can
Yeah.
travel the world. And so having a project like this being spread out globally makes a ton of sense because everyone is involved. But I think
Yes.
so far it is a European project, right? It's not going to America or any Eastern countries, or is it?
Yeah. I can explain this. It's a very good question. So because we had quite some discussions about it. The request was to cover entire Europe,
Hmm.
and we could interact with countries that are not part of the EU, but that could be part of Horizon Europe. And for instance, Canada is now part of this ecosystem, and New Zealand, Turkey. So
Oh,
there are questions about this. But we discussed it, and the approach we followed is that we have 17 partners from 13 countries. So we cover the Nordics, Western Europe, Southern Europe, Eastern Europe. But we don't have partners from all countries, but that's not doable with the budget we have. But we said that the partners, some of them, they have connections with similar type partners in other countries. So we asked from the food authorities we have as a partner, we have 3 food authorities, to when they go to a European meeting and meet all other European food authorities, to exchange information about the Catalyze project, when needed, ask for feedback, so that we can say in that layer we cover entire Europe. And the same for the industry. We have Food Drink Europe as a partner, and they have asked FIAP in Spain to let's say do the work for them because they don't have enough staff to do this really. But Food Drink Europe is a federation of European country organizations. So again, when there is a meeting organized by Food Drink Europe for all European country organizations, associations, then please mention the Catalyze project, explain about it, ask questions about it so that we can benefit. And the same is for academia and the same is for NGOs. So we developed a specific system so that we could have a really good outreach through all regions and countries in Europe, also, for instance, with AIT Food. But we know that we are not on our own. Europe strongly interacts with all, let's say, regions in the world.
yeah.
And that's also because trade becomes more international. So
Yeah.
that there are connections with South America, with Northern America. As I said, with New Zealand,
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
we can see that EU gets more and more connected with Africa. So
Yeah.
that is for sure on our radar. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and it makes perfect sense to, cover a broader area, or yeah, just the globe in general.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
so let's dive a little bit deeper into Catalyze. Um, how did it get started, or how do you meet? What's the progress, and where did you start, or where are you now? At which point, and what exactly is it that you do with those partners or members of yours?
Yeah. So this is a question about how you build such a consortium.
Yeah.
And in this case, I contacted two persons, organizations that think are, let's say, relevant for the field and that we can trust. Because the point is, when you build a consortium and you get funded, you will work with each other for 4 years. So
Mhm.
with the first choices you make, you have to think about, okay, will we have a nice relationship with these people? And then we started talking, and then there comes some proposal that we should invite this person or this organization, and it gradually grows, and then you start to make a plan, and then you have organization that you need. Maybe you don't know them from beforehand, but they have to fill certain gaps in the in the consortium. And what I just explained about the European coverage was driving. And we have a system in Europe when you talk about stakeholder engagement. You have the categories of policymakers, academia, industry, and let's say society or citizens. So we wanted to have European coverage for all these four categories.
Mhm.
And that said, well, we need to have some universities involved, we need to have some country food authorities involved, we need the industry involved. So and then yeah, every time you invite a new partner, they know another partner that could be
Mhm.
part of it. Yeah, and at the end of the day, the budget was quite limited for the proposal. So it was a bit complicated to allocate the right budget to every partner.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And how long is it gonna last? I mean, you talked about 4 years, and it just
no,
started pretty recently, right? Or
yeah.
maybe a
So
year?
the Catalyse, because of the budget, we
Yeah,
said and also because we don't develop new science, it will take 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it started the 1st of January this year, so it will end uh, at the end of 2026.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, and then we'll see all the results being presented to European countries, and yeah, that sounds really great. Is there already something that you can tell us about in regards to development, maybe, or yeah,
Yeah.
progress that
So
has been made?
yeah. So a key aspect of the Catalyze project is the community of practice that will be developed. And this is mainly done by the University Católica de Porto in Lisbon.
Hmm.
And I know that they are really working hard to make this happen. There will be a website, a dedicated website for the community of practice, where people can go to and interact with other people, ask questions, post blogs, find information, find education, maybe find partners, whatsoever. I think the best example I see is the RASF website for regulatory affairs specialists. They have something that looks like what we want to achieve for food safety with Catalyze.
Yeah.
And this puts time pressure on us because we said, and that is an experience from me from another project, that we should open up the community of practice at least halfway the Catalyze initiative.
Hmm.
Um, maybe you know how it works, but when you're involved in an Horizon Europe project, you get funding, which means that you get money for the time that you spend on it, that you get paid. But when the project is finished, people are not getting paid anymore. So, and then we don't know if they are going to work on it. So after 18 months, so that's July, August next year, the community of practice will open up and people can interact already. And to build this community, we are really active on LinkedIn
Hmm.
because we think with the target group we have, which are project managers, scientists, professors, people in policy, they are a lot of them are active on LinkedIn, so that's where our audience is. And we are already having 850 followers on LinkedIn, so we are building a nice community there. And this should be the foundation for the community of practice. But when a community of practice opens, also the searchable database will open.
Hmm.
And that is done by UCSC in Italy. They are also working hard on this. So it should be literature that we trust, but it should also be findable and really relevant for the food safety area. So when someone has a question or wants to find something, then that should be possible. Within a community of practice, there should be this searchable literature database. And we will develop new education that will be done by Wageningen University. First, they will check what is available already, because there is a lot of education material already, and then they will develop new modules. And we are now working, we are now already making the selection of literature and existing trainings, and we will put them on our website already, so that information is already available. So that's one really important aspect. And the second aspect is to identify the needs of the end users and to make this list of SMEs, and we're working both hard on it. ILSE Europe, they interacted with the stakeholders, so they had several workshops. We had online meetings, and there will be a webinar, I think 2 weeks from now, or one maybe next week, where they will present the outcomes of these workshops, of the information that we collected about the needs of the end user. So yeah, I think it's really going well. The partners are really enthusiastic and working hard to deliver. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Absolutely. So,
yeah.
is there your group of members or people participating, universities participating, associations? Would you say you are you have everyone you need, or would you like others still to join? Is it still open to join? And then also, what is given a magic wand, what would you like people to help you with or support you with? Is there anything, like your LinkedIn community? Would you hope or wish for more companies to become part of your network, of the Catalyse network, or would you like them to join in the project? What would be something that you would wish for that you can now share with the people listening to this interview?
Yeah, well, the I think the difficult part is to have this flourishing community of practice,
Mhm.
because we have so many options to become a member of something and to start interacting. And I'm a member of some of them, and it doesn't always work that well. But we have a lot of, let's say, associated partners they don't get funding, but we have them on our map as contributors.
Mhm.
And EHEDGE is, for instance, one of them, the European Organization for Hygiene Management. ENFIT is in our stakeholder board, so we are also happy with this. Yeah, I think that the main thing I would like to see happening is that people really get engaged and they start involving and contributing. And this counts for all types of partners. Of course, we will be visible on events. Well, I was presenting on the ENFIT conference lately.
Mhm.
Of course, we will be present at the IAFP conference in May next year. But also, one of the partners, Flanders Food, they will organize a conference together with EHEDGE,
Mhm.
and there will be, I think, 150 representatives of food processing companies. And they have given us, the Catalyze project, the opportunity to propose, let's say, 10 startups that could present themselves there, that
Mhm.
could pitch. And that is an excellent
Yeah.
proposal. And well, this is something that we would like to happen more and more. And then, well, we have AIT Food also connected to us. So when we could participate in some of their events with some startups, well, then I think it really gets big.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, keeping my fingers crossed that it will grow and the results will be amazing, but I'm pretty sure they will be. And so what we can tell the audience now is, first of all, if they have any questions, reach out to Edward. Your email will be on the cover page of this interview. And if you'd rather become part of your network or Catalyze's network on LinkedIn, reach out, connect. I'm pretty sure you're happy to accept all connection requests that you'll get on LinkedIn. So yeah, I think this is yeah, a shout out to everyone in the food industry. Connect with Edward, connect with Catalyze. reach out, become a part of this amazing European project, and just share your knowledge, share your expertise. And you, Edward, thank you very much for telling us about the project, providing more information, and telling us about the importance of it, and how really important it is for companies, for associations, for food safety authorities to become part and to support you and everyone in the Catalyse project, as well, of course, as the Titan project, but to be supportive with your projects and help you. And so thank you very much for taking the time. I know it's a busy time of the year, but it's, very thankful that you participated in my interview. And I think this shout out is a good end to it, and end of the year. So let's hope that next year we'll have great results and can share those maybe even in the next interview.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you. And I'm always willing to come back to give more information.
That's
Yes.
wonderful. Thank you so much, Edward.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
This has been the latest episode of Industry Insights with Edward Sliwinski. Thank you for your attention and see you again soon. Bye.